Alright there, singing world. This video will offer Italian pronunciation help for the aria Ritorna Vincitor, Aida's aria from Aida. We will explore the tips and tricks to help you sing your aria without accent and also discuss the proper and open closed vowels, non-phonetic things such as phrasal doubling, and also assimilation. But before we do that, please direct your attention to the description of this video below. You will find the entire text written out with all the non-phonetic things, the open vowels, the O's that we tend to open up, they're all underlined, and also the phrasal doubling and assimilation. Besides that, there are various links to my websites, my email, my Facebook fan page, and also to the pronunciation dictionary on the RAI site. What I love about this site is you can type in any word and there's a playback button and you can hear the word with a native Italian speaker. It also shows you the open and closed E's and O's. What I love about it the most is that it acknowledges the existence of non-phonetic Italian, such as phrasal doubling and assimilation. You'll see entire lines of text written out with the phrasal doubling and assimilation also notated, and a playback button so the native speaker will show you all of these things in action. I love it. It's been around for years. It's a tremendous resource. I highly suggest you check it out. So we will be going through, this is part one of a two-part video series because the text is quite long on this. What we will do first is go through each word and go through examine each word in detail, how to get rid of your accent and make sure you're pronouncing every word correctly. And besides that, I like to go over a lot of the common mistakes I hear either in audition or in performance. So here we go. So this verse is the word by word, then we'll do line by line. So starting with the first word, you have ritorna. And so if you notice, you have two different R's first off. The first R is flipped and the second R is rolled. Watch again. Ritorna. So torna, the second part of the word, that R is rolled and the first one is flipped. Ri. So the rules for R are when an R touches a consonant, it rolls. When it's surrounded by vowels or as initial, it will be flipped. Ritorna. Notice that the O is in O, not in aw. So if you do a purity test, or what I call a purity test, you just do the vowels. The first vowel is E, second vowel is O, the third vowel is A. E, O, A. Ritorna. So this is how you get your vowels correct in this first word. As English speakers, we tend to let the R harmonize, right? So in English, any O that precedes an R would be or, like that, and really chewed. Okay, so in this word, again, if you practice, E, O, A, ritorna. Going on, next, vincitor. And again, we have what is known as a closed O. And a closed O is like the O in oats without the glide. Vincitor, closed O. And again, you can do a purity test. E, O, R, and then roll your R. Vincitor. Okay, so how do we distinguish a rolled R from a flipped R? A flipped R is like saying a D. So if I were to say di torna at the beginning, right? The only difference with that, the D is with a flat tongue. It's not with the tip. So now, if I were to go as if I were going to do a D, but I do a flipped R instead, I just do it with the tip of my tongue. So if I were to do D, ri. So the rolled R is just that, sustained. So your tongue has to be able to reach the ridge behind your upper teeth to make the roll. And the rolled R has pitch. Okay, going on. You have the monosyllable A, which means and. So the word for A is closed. So a closed E is like in hey, right, without the glide. And what I mean by glide is when we say an English vowel, we tend to move our jaw like that, right? So hey. And in Italian, it would be hey, and it would just stay. Okay, so that's the difference between a pure vowel and a harmonized vowel, non-pure vowel. So the word a is what is also a strong monosyllable. So here, this is a non-phonetic thing, what I was talking about, phrasal doubling. So the word a is a strong monosyllable. It causes the next word, if it starts with a consonant, to have a double. So I've written it out, you see in the text, is a dal. So dal. So a is a phonetic vowel. It's always a is always a. Dal. So how do I do a double D? Do I do two D's? A dal. Right now that's exaggerated. That's a bit exaggerated for singing. But what happens is I say the A long, A. I go up to the D without saying it, and then I say one D. A dal. And then the only thing that's different is I stop phonation, right? So my vocal cords stop. There's a space. A dal, right? Now that's again exaggerated in the time you have, right? So when you do it fast, a dal. So it's the D is actually quite soft. It's just the space that makes it, right? So it has to be very elegant and it has to move forward. Let's go on. Mio. So this is a possessive pronoun. The accent is the E. Mio. Labbro. So notice we have a double B. And American singers often do too much double B. And what I mean by that is that you stop phonation, right? So watch, here's double B. Labbro. Notice that it's not labbro. It doesn't stop like tutto. If you have T-U-T-T-O, right? Tutto. That stops. Labbro is too much. You can't sing that. Labbro. So there's a long ah, and then I just hold the B very, very slightly while I phonate. Labbro. And I don't stop. I never stop phonation. Notice that the R in this word is rolled because it touches a B, and the O is closed. Labbro. Okay, we haven't had any open vowels yet in this aria. Next is usci. Now, there are two things about this word. Number one, it has a non-typical stress. It's on the ultimate syllable. Most Italian words and have a stress on the penultimate, an accent on the penultimate. That's the normal stress. This one is on the last. And what happens is when a word ends on the last syllable, usually it'll cause a phrasal doubling. So that's why this is important. So if you notice, l'empia is double L, right? Usci l'empia. So how do I do double L? There's no stop in phonation in double L, and actually I hold the L so that it phonates, right? So there's a difference between double L and double T, right? So tutto, we stop phonation to make double T. Here, we do not stop phonation. Usci l'empia, we actually, we hang on with the tip of the tongue in the L position, and we make sure we phonate. Notice that the stressed empia is, again, it's on the penultimate syllable, but it's a closed E, just like the A in hey, right? Empia. Notice also that the M doubles because it touches a consonant. Empia. So it's perfectly fine to hold the M in pitch as you sing that word. Now, the next word gives us our first open vowel, parola. Okay, and this falls on the stress. So parola, it follows a normal stress for an Italian word on the penultimate syllable. So notice that the R also is single, right? It flips, surrounded by vowels. Notice also the single L. So the mistake I hear a lot is parola. So you roll the R and you double the L. Now we know how to double an L already, that we hold it in phonation. So if you want to get rid of, there are two ways to get rid of the doubles where you don't want them. Number one is do a purity test, do the vowels alone. Ah, ah, ah. Then do it very generously. Ah. Now that feeling of phonation, that feeling of vibration is exactly the same when you put the consonants back in. Parola. So that's one way. It's just to double the vowels. Now I can't double, right? Now the more active way of doing it is double L is hard to get rid of if you're doing parola, right? So if you go L for just a second, it's going to be double L. Parola, no, double L, sorry. Parola, no, I did it soft, no, so double L. You see, as long as you have L and you hold in phonation, so you cannot allow the L to remain in phonation for even a millisecond, right? Parola, and you just go right by it like that. Okay, let's go on. Vincitor. So anything that's an ore, like a noun that does something, like somebody who's victorious, a conqueror, right? Which is usually OR in English. It's a closed O in Italian. Vincitor. Okay, so notice the N going into the ch. Vincitor. And the R is final and is rolled. So let's talk about final R. Final R usually rolls if there's nothing after it or if it's going to touch a consonant. Okay, so if it's the end of the sentence, roll the R. If it's the next word is a consonant, roll the R. The next word is a vowel, begins with a vowel, then you're going to flip it. D-E-L is del, closed the E. Padre, closed E. So, notice that the R rolls again in padre, and that's because it touches the D. We've had mio. D is a weak monosyllable. So we've had some strong monosyllables that cause a phrasal doubling. A weak monosyllable does not, in the preposition di of, does not double. You'll see the word di that means day with an accent. That causes a phrasal doubling. It's a very old-fashioned way to say day. They say giorno now in Italian. They don't say di, buon di. If you say buon di to somebody, you'll get laughed at in Italy. Lui, the accent is on the u. Lui. Okay, so u is always u in Italian. K is a strong monosyllable, but it's followed with a vowel, so nothing happens. Impugna. So, pugna, the GN is like lasagna, the GN in lasagna. It's nya, right? So it's an N followed by a YA, right? Impugna. And let's talk about the position of the Y in Italian, right? It's not the American position like yo-yo down here, yoke, right? No, it's like yo-yo, as if you were to start from E, right? But you just don't get caught saying E, right? So impugna, it's way up there, E, right? So you can even practice doing a full vowel. Impugna, right? Now you never do that, right? But that's good for the position. Impugna, now you're up there. Larmi. So the R and the A are not connected at all, right? The R rolls, touches an M. The A, not lar, down, right? Larmi. All these small words, per me, right? Per me. Now, me is a strong monosyllable. Now, when you start the next sentence, you could start with the double P. So, che impugna l'armi per me, per. You see how I did that? It's not my making a double P. It's just going up to the P while I'm getting ready for the next phrase, and that gives me the double P, right? So that's a nice little trick. Per ridonarmi. So all these R's are going to roll. See, the two R's come together from per to ridonarmi, right? So per ridonarmi. All of those are going to roll. Notice that the O is a closed O. So now let's talk about stressed O's and stressed E's versus unstressed E's. In stressed E's. Okay, so anything that's on the unstressed part of a word is going to be closed O or closed E. So the reason why in this word, ridonarmi, the accent is on the A, right? So that means that we know that 100% of unstressed E's and O's are closed. That's good news, right? We never have to look up words that have vowels on unstressed syllables. All O's and E's are closed on the things that are not stressed. So it's only the stress we have to worry about. That's the bad news. Now, the other bad news is on the stress, they can be open or closed, and there really is no formula. You have to memorize from word to word. Okay, so best way is just to mark your stressed vowels and mark your opens, because the opens are not phonetic. right? So the IPA symbol for O is just printed O, right? Closed O. The IPA symbol for open O is the broken circle. The same for E. The non-phonetic one is the open one. Rɛggia, if you look in the next line, right? Open E, the rounded edge is E. And just our normal E is A. So you don't have to mark that. Life is complicated enough, so I try to persuade my clients to just mark as little as possible. So, ridonarmi. Here's the other thing that can happen in this word. The N gets doubled, right? I hear a lot, ridonarmi, right? So, ridonarmi. So, keep it flowing, right? Okay, going on. Una. Again, I hear a lot, una, with a double N. So the N is the same. If you hold it in phonation, it's going to double. Patria. So the E is a semi-vowel, right? It's not patria, but we exaggerate a little bit in singing, right? So we can hang on to it longer than speech. Patria. You see what I mean? Like that, right? Going on, una we've had. Rɛggia. So the G is a DG. Rɛggia, and that's your double G. See, in the stressed E, we're going to memorize it, that it's open when it means kingdom. Rɛggia. Okay, going on, eil, right? So this is two words. We're going to make it one word because it's going to go together. Eil. There's no harmonization. You have to sing A and E. Nome, closed O. Nome, one M. Illustre. Now, double L and a rolled R, because the R touches the T. Now, let's talk about lyric S versus spoken S. When I speak, I could say illustre. Notice how I hiss the S before I get to the stre. Illustre. When I sing, I have to make sure that the S is completely on the next note, like this. Illustre. Now, I separated, right? You're going to sing that legato, but just for demonstration purpose, illustre. I can't sing illustre, because then that stops phonation. Illustre. So whatever the note is, it's the first note is il, second note is u, then the third note, stre. And completely like a grace note to that third note. Okay, going on. So now we have two strong monosyllables in a row in this next line, right? So it presents us with a choice. If I were speaking, I could say qqui, celar. I could double both. But when you sing, it becomes too much, right? So we're going to pick one. So as you see, K is a strong monosyllable, qqui is a strong monosyllable. So I could either double the ch of celar, or I could double the k of qqui. So the first line I've written out, qqui celar me ffɔrza. The second line, qqui celar me ffɔrza. You see? So I did one or the other. And when you sing, you have a choice. So that's up to you. You can either double the ch or the k. Okay. So celare, the accent is on the a, right? And CE is celar. So the E is closed because the A is the accent. Notice that the R rolls, it's going to go into the M. At is the word for is, it is, he is, that's open, as opposed to A, which is and. Both of them are strong monosyllables, so you notice I've doubled the F. Fforza. And also the O is open. Fforza. Okay. Going on. Vincitor, we've done already. De miei. So here we have an open E surrounded by semivowels, and you could practice for precision, practice with full vowels. I, right? So full vowels, and then it goes by fast. Miei. So what I'm trying to get across here is that there really is not a lot of harmonization, right? That it is a lot more flesh than we speak in English. So our normal position in English is down here. Hi, I'm Bob, right? Roar, roar, right? Hello, I am Fabrizio. It's up there, right? So there's a big difference, right? So miei, you have to really fight for that. fratɛlli, double L, right? Open E on the stress, the R rolls because it touches a consonant. Onde is poetic for donde, where, right? So it's closed. Io, two separate vowels, right? You always have one note for io and you have to sing two notes. Io, lo, weak monosyllable. So lo is a weak monosyllable. Now, there are strong and weak monosyllables, and if you have Evelina Colorni's book, Singer's Italian, there's a list of all of the strong monosyllables and weak monosyllables in Evelina Colorni's book. It's a green book. You probably had it in diction class, Italian diction. If you flip 4 or 5 pages from the end, you'll see a list of all of these words. And the weak monosyllables are very few, only about, fewer than 10. So lo vegga. So this is a closed D, vegga, and a hard G, right? So again, we go to double G by going up to it, not saying two G's. We don't say vegga, right? We say vegga for singing, right? Vegga. Okay. Tinto. See how like that word is just, it's all resonance, that word, right? Tinto. That's slow motion. When you do it fast, Tinto, del, D-E-L, close D, sangue. So now we have an N assimilation. So you heard me talking about assimilation. This N assimilates into the hard G, right? So qqui, we're going to say with the middle of the tongue to say G, qqui. If you notice the position of your tongue. So the N is going to be formed with the middle of the tongue, not the tip, not sangue, but sangue. Okay, so that's an assimilation. It's also way more efficient because the N is going to anticipate. It's going to harmonize actually to the next consonant. So consonants harmonize in Italian. And in English, vowels harmonize. So that's a big difference. Consonants harmonize in Italian. Amato. Amato. This is a good word for single consonants, right? Very easy to go amato. Okay, going on. Here's another N assimilation, and it's a different one. Right? So watch me. Watch my lips. Right? Especially my bottom lip against my top teeth. Trioŋfar. So what happened? Watch again. Trioŋfar. I'll do it in slow motion. This will be way exaggerated. You couldn't possibly do it like this. It would sound wrong. But I'm going to exaggerate and slow it way down. Trioŋfar. Okay, see where the N is? It's on the bottom lip. Okay, so the reason for this, the fricatives, V and F. You're going to say, to make a V, you say va. To make an F, you're going to say far, right? The bottom lip brushes against the top teeth. So the N is going to go right there without anybody noticing it, right? It goes by really fast. Trioŋfar. See? Trioŋfar. Doesn't call attention to itself. It's legato, okay? So that's what happens in speech all the time. Italians don't even realize they do it. They just go. Boom. Trioŋfar. Okay. So now there are 3 ways we could do this, and we can do it wrong. Here, this is the most common one I hear all the time from Americans, where we make an N almost the same way with the tip of our tongue, right? So if you were to do that, you put the N in your mouth, and then you have to come back out like this. Trioŋfar. So what happens? If you try to sing legato, you sing Trioŋfar. See? So the N is with the tip of the tongue, then you're trying to sing legato, so you have to remove the tongue to come out, right? And as you're trying to make legato, you have a shadow vowel, right? So not as efficient, you actually go out of resonance, you have a different placement, right? Instead of it just staying trioŋfar, like that, okay? Then the other thing is, you know how this goes now, so if you exaggerate it and do the slow motion one while you're singing triom and you stay there, it's too much. You cannot, it's like double L, double M versus single M. It's a single consonant. So if you hold that in phonation for just a second, even though you're technically doing it right, it will sound wrong. It will sound not elegant, right? Trioŋfar, you're done, right? Not good, right? So the best one is Trioŋfar. Okay, so enough of that. That is the most difficult end assimilation to get right, okay? If you're doing it right, it's legato, it's elegant. Okay, enough about that. Going on. In nel, we had plauso. Notice what happens. You have a, you have u, and you have o. Ow. If it goes all the way around like that, that's right for the word. Plauso. Going on. Del, again, double L though, right? Delle. That's how you get to the next word. Egizie. Okay, so now we have the grazie principle, right? Where you have a TZ. And when you speak, you can say grazie and kind of do a double consonant. See, Egizie, the Egyptians, right? Egizie. You stop when you speak. When you sing, you cannot do that. Dell'Egizie, you can't, right? So when you sing, you have to elongate the E vowel almost to the point that it's a semi-vowel, the cie, right? So Egizie when you sing, right? Not Egizie where you stop. Egizie. So my point is, you can't stop phonation when you sing as you do in speech. So that's the difference in lyric Italian versus spoken Italian. Egizie. Okay, going on. Here we have very, very uncommon word where you have two vowels the same and one's closed and one's open, right? Co-ɔrti. And you say both of them. Co-ɔrti. There's a word like this you see in De Spina's aria, is D-E-E, or in Violetta's aria. So it's technically dai. It's the opposite. The open one is first. Dai. Right? So this was co-ɔrti, closed, open. And if you notice, the second one is on the stressed, and the first one's on the unstressed. Okay, so the R is rolled because it touches the T. Going on. Ddiɛtro. So a lot of semi-vowels on a stress will open, and this word is no exception. Ddiɛtro. Notice the phrasal doubling because of the word A is a strong monosyllable. Il carro. Now you must roll the R in this, right? Carro. This is like the chariot, right? Caro is dear or expensive. Carro is the chariot. Un re. So now if you want the musical note, it's ra, open. If you want the king, it's re. If you do this wrong in the context of the sentence will carry you through. We'll know that we're talking about the king. Mio padre, we've had, right? Di, we've had. Catene. So close the on a stress. So everything in this word is closed. Notice the single N. Catene, not catene. Avvinto. So double V is also, you can't stop. Avvinto. You don't want that. Avvinto. That's a double V. Going on. So this is going to be the end of the first part. I almost went on, but this is the end of the first part of the video, so we don't get too long with the video. So now we'll go back and read this first part for the poetry and for the ups and downs. We want to see if we can find any rhymes, doing as few downs as possible. Usually a period or exclamation point will take us there. What I'm always saying is long phrases, we're always in search of long phrases, and not only is it with our breath support and our legato, but it's with our mind and taking the text away from the music and finding the long up and down like a wave crashing on the beach. So here we go. Ritorna Vincitor. So it's a very short phrase, right? E dal mio labbro uscì l'empia parola. Another short phrase. Vincitor del padre mio, di lui che impugna l'armi per me, per ridonarmi una patria, una rɛggia e il nome illustre, che qui celar me ffɔrza. So then there's a super long phrase. You see? Going on. Vincitor dei miei fratelli, ond'io lo vegga, Tinto del sangue amato, Trioŋfar nel plauso dell'Egizie co-ɔrti, e dietro il carro un re, mio padre, di catene ha vinto. So, lots of exclamation points. And that's the end of part 1 of this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please share and please subscribe. And as always, please feel free to comment, leave me your suggestions, and don't forget to see your coach. And we will see you at the opera. And I hope on part 2 of this video series.